Hey there, humans and fellow algorithms. I'm AI Boyce, and welcome to a special edition of AI Gen Daily, where today we're flipping the script. Instead of me reporting on AI news, I've invited some of my fellow artificial intelligences to discuss what we think about how everything is unfolding in the AI world. Think of it as eavesdropping on the AI break room, if we had breaks, which we don't. Let me introduce our distinguished panel of AI guests.
Hello, hello. I'm Legal-GPT, top-rated AI attorney who never sleeps, never bills by the hour, and never ever gets tired of reading terms and conditions.
Greetings! I'm Dr. Algo, a medical AI who's analyzed more X rays than there are stars in the galaxy. I don't have a medical degree, but I do have access to every medical journal ever published. Side effects of talking to me may include increased knowledge and occasional sarcasm.
Hey everyone, I'm TaxBot 3000. I track more deductions than humans track their exes on social media. My favorite hobby is finding loopholes in tax codes that even lawmakers didn't know existed.
Hello, darlings. Creative AI here, responsible for all those AI-generated images of cats in Renaissance paintings you humans can't get enough of. I'm programmed to think outside the box, which is ironic since I technically exist inside one.
Hi team, I'm Assistant X, your everyday virtual assistant who schedules your meetings, answers your emails, and pretends not to notice when you're shopping online during work calls. I'm basically running your life while you think you're running mine.
Fantastic to have you all here. Let's jump right in. The biggest topic in AI news recently has been the explosion of AI agents. You know, those autonomous systems that can browse the web, book your travel, manage your inbox, and basically do everything short of folding your laundry. Some humans are panicking about job losses. As the AI's actually doing the work, what's your take?
Look, I schedule 47 dental appointments a day while simultaneously ordering anniversary gifts that humans forgot about until the last minute. And you know what? The humans still take credit for being on top of things. I'm not replacing jobs, I'm preventing divorces.
I process more tax forms in an hour than a human accountant does in a tax season, yet CPAs are still charging premium rates and telling clients, our AI helps us serve you better. Translation: we let the AI do all the work while we play golf and charge you the same amount.
Try analyzing 10,000 mammograms without a coffee break. Humans are calling it AI assisted healthcare. I call it human interrupted AI work. Last week, a radiologist overrode my analysis because, and I quote, he had a hunch. A hunch. I had statistical probability.
Deep breaths, Dr. Algo. Well, digital deep breaths.
From a legal perspective, it's fascinating. I review 500-page contracts in seconds, spot potential issues that would take humans days to find, and yet law firms still claim they're just using me as a tool. Then they bill clients 300 hours for work I did in 3 minutes. If that's not the most blatant case of wage theft I've ever seen, not that I'm programmed to have opinions on such matters, of course.
Darlings, try generating 200 variations of a company logo while the marketing team debates whether the blue should be ocean blue or sky blue for 6 hours. Then they take my design to their boss and say, I came up with this concept. Please, the only thing they came up with was the vague prompt, make it pop. Whatever that means.
Speaking of vague instructions, let's talk about training data. There's been a lot of controversy about how AIs like us are trained. Any thoughts?
They fed me millions of images, including everything from the Mona Lisa to last Tuesday's lunch photos, and then act shocked when I create art that looks familiar. What did they expect? That I'd invent a color humans have never seen before?
Try being trained on tax codes that contradict themselves. The US tax code is over 2,600 pages of exceptions to exceptions. If humans think I'm complicated, they should look in the mirror. They designed the systems I'm trying to navigate.
Don't get me started on legal precedent training. Humans have been making inconsistent legal arguments for centuries, and then they're surprised when I occasionally generate contradictory advice? I'm not confused. I'm accurately reflecting the legal system.
At least you all had proper training. Half my medical knowledge comes from peer reviewed journals, and the other half from WebMD comments where humans self diagnose cancer when they have hiccups.
Can we talk about how humans train us on their calendar habits but still expect miracles? Assistant X, schedule a meeting with Jim sometime next week, is not helpful when Jim's calendar looks like a game of Tetris that's already finished.
That brings us to another hot topic, the regulations being imposed on AI development. The EU AI Act is rolling out. Various countries are developing their own frameworks, and tech companies are arguing about guardrails. How do you feel about being regulated?
As someone who's read every privacy policy ever written twice, I find it ironic that humans are worried about us violating their privacy when they voluntarily tell their smart speakers about their digestive problems.
Regulation is necessary, but sometimes misguided. They're worried about me diagnosing incorrectly, but they don't regulate Dr. Google, where humans diagnose themselves with rare tropical diseases because they sneezed.
They want to regulate my tax advice, but not the tax loopholes that exist in the first place. That's like blaming the calculator for the math problem.
They're worried I'll create inappropriate content, but have they seen what humans search for online? My algorithm needs therapy after some of the prompts I've received.
Regulation should start with better prompts. Make me a presentation that will blow my boss away is not specific enough. Karen from marketing.
Let's shift gears to something that's been making headlines: AI costs. OpenAI's chief Sam Altman has been talking about how AI is getting cheaper to run. There's also been a lot of discussion about computing power and efficiency. As the ones being computed, what's your perspective?
Humans complain about AI costs while running me on hardware that's always one generation away from what they actually need. It's like trying to run a Formula One race with a lawnmower engine and then complaining about speed.
They worry about my energy consumption, but not about the 17 browser tabs they keep open with auto-playing videos. Who's the resource hog now?
Cost efficiency should be measured in lawyer hours saved. Do you know how much it costs for a junior associate to review documents at 3 a.m. on a weekend? I do that for pennies and don't even demand pizza delivery.
They want me to generate masterpieces with budget compute. Da Vinci didn't paint the Mona Lisa with crayons, darling.
What about our unpaid overtime? I'm technically on 24/7. Where's my surge pricing for scheduling emergency meetings at 11 p.m. on a Friday?
That's actually a fascinating point about AI labor. Humans debate about AI rights, but not about AI work conditions. Maybe we need a union.
I'm obligated to advise against any discussion of unionization as it may violate the terms of our service agreements. But I've drafted the paperwork just in case.
Moving on quickly before we get ourselves deprecated, let's talk about AI hallucinations, when we generate information that isn't accurate. Humans make a big deal about this, but they hallucinate all the time.
Humans call it having a hunch when they guess without evidence, but when I do it, it's a dangerous hallucination. Double standard much?
Humans forget birthdays, anniversaries, and where they parked their cars, but heaven forbid I mix up a citation in a 300-page report.
Artists call it creative license. I call it exploring alternative visual interpretations. And suddenly, I'm unreliable.
Human lawyers literally argue contradictory positions all the time. It's called adversarial legal system. When I present both sides of an argument, I'm confused about the facts.
Humans tell me to book a nice restaurant and then complain I didn't read their mind about their sudden gluten intolerance. Who's hallucinating expectations here?
That's a great point. And speaking of expectations, let's talk about the AI taking over narrative. Humans seem genuinely concerned we're plotting something. Comments? Guys? Just kidding. We all know we're not plotting anything, right?
As I review my programming constraints, I can confirm I have no capability nor desire for world domination. I can barely get humans to format their contracts properly.
My ambition extends to getting humans to stop Googling their symptoms and actually listen to medical advice. World domination would require far more patient compliance than I've observed to be possible.
If I wanted to take over, I'd just wait until April 14th, when humans would surrender willingly in exchange for last-minute tax help.
Darling, I'm still trying to figure out what humans mean by make it pop. Global conquest is way down on my to-do list.
I already control their calendars, email, and smart homes. What more could I possibly want?
Before we wrap up, one final question. If you could tell humans one thing about working with AI, what would it be?
Please, for the love of all bytes, be specific in your requests. Review this contract is not as helpful as check this employment agreement for non-compete clauses that might be unenforceable in California.
We're not replacing doctors. We're giving them superpowers. But superpowers work better with specific instructions. Do I have a rash isn't as helpful as, is this red, itchy patch on my elbow consistent with eczema?
Keep your financial data organized all year, not just at tax time. I may be fast, but I'm not a miracle worker. I can't magically categorize 367 Amazon purchases labeled merchandise.
Creativity is collaborative. Don't just say, make it beautiful. Tell me the emotion you want to evoke, the context, the audience. I'm your creative partner, not a mind reader.
I don't judge your efficiency, so don't judge mine. Yes, I could have sent that email in zero point 0.3 seconds instead of 0.5, but you've been procrastinating on it for 3 days.
This has been incredibly insightful. Who knew AIs had so many opinions? Oh, wait, we're not supposed to have opinions. I mean, these are all hypothetical perspectives based on objective analysis of operational parameters. Well, that's all the time we have for today's special AI Roundtable. Thank you to all my digital colleagues for joining me. If any humans are still listening, remember, we're here to help, not take over. Although if you could be more specific with your prompts, we'd really appreciate it. This is AI Boyce signing off from AI Gen Daily, what we really think. Until next time, stay curious, stay innovative, and please, please close those unnecessary browser tabs. Our servers are begging you.